Hello guys, good afternoon, welcome to episode lucky number 13.
Lucky number 13?
It is
wow.
lucky number 13 of the RDO Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Jason Von Cannell, with my brother and co-host, Alex Von Cannell. How are you, bro? What's happening?
It's been busy today. I had a very busy morning this morning. Did a couple, which is always nice. Had some more buying negativity from some of the community.
Right.
Like I keep saying to people, if you wouldn't say something to someone in person, why would you say it online?
Because it's safe.
Yeah, just some real smart ass comments on some of my listings. And some just really people trying to, I suppose, validate themselves, like they're smart, like they know something that I don't, and don't realise I know way more than they do.
Yeah.
And not only that, I'm going to show them why they're wrong.
But are you just being trolled?
I don't know. It's not trolling, because they're genuinely, the things that they point out are genuine, but stupid. Like I listed a car that's got an incorrect badge on it.
Right.
I've listed it as the correct car, that Mercedes S320. It's got an S500 badge on it, and I've taken a photo of the engine. Okay, so if you know what you're talking about, you know that a 500 is a V8 in that year.
What year model is this car?
94.
94.
You know it's a V8. S500s back then were all V8s.
Yeah.
But the description is 320, and written in the body of the text says S320. And someone says, well, it's got a badge on. It's got a badge on it, so it's got to be a 500. Well, no. Is it more realistic to think that the badge is wrong, or that the engine and description is wrong?
Well, someone who has worked with someone in the motor trade who has put his own badges on cars before to make his own limited editions, that's probably the badge.
They were limited in edition and appeal.
Yeah. And you would also assume that if someone's looking at a 1994 Mercedes, that they would actually know something about cars, which is why they're looking at it in the first place.
Exactly.
Yeah, interesting. But
and another one where the guy's giving me all this attitude towards my car, trying to downplay it, which is an old negotiating technique. So, but don't be such a prick about it, because I don't want to sell him this car now, so I won't sell to him. Yeah. Like, he's been such a douche about it that it's making it really hard. Like, he's picking stuff that's not real and then adding little smart-ass comments on all of it. So, I just want to sell it.
Again, there's negotiating, and then there's common decency, right? And this goes both ways. Like, I remember when my wife and I were looking for a house, and we looked at, it would have been 14 places in the first 12 months. And the thing that really turned us off a lot of the places we looked at was not the house, it was the real estate agent that was showing us the house. Yeah. Because, I'm sorry to any real estate agency out there, I'm sure you guys all do a great job. We dealt with some shit ones. We dealt with some ones who were completely indifferent, argumentative when you wanted to put an offer in. Yep. And again, instead of justifying why you should offer more money, actually arguing back, you going, oh no, that's a ridiculous offer and this, that, the other. And then the problem is, me as a client, I go, well, it's actually your job to take my offer to the owner. It's not your job to argue with me about why my offer's right or wrong. I made you an offer, take it to the owner. You can try to advise me. You can try to tell me that it's sold for X recently, it's had this work done to it.
You can base an argument with some facts.
That's right, but not just come back to me and tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Same sort of thing, right? So again, there's difference between negotiation and difference, and just
especially with property too. The price is fluid. It's not set.
Yeah. Well, interesting that you say that.
Prices don't necessarily need to go up.
Well, the house that we actually bought was actually a set price and the best experience that we'd had. Yeah. Because the real estate agent that we bought it from, I can't even remember, Paul Hodgson's his name, in Helensvale. Good bloke. Shout out to Paul Hodgson from Helensvale, Century 21, I think it is. The way he's been doing his business 30 years, and he actually does what we do in car sales, where he advises his clients who are selling their houses, this is what you should be pricing it at. Based on the market data, based on what you've got there, this is what I feel is a fair price for your house, and they list it at a price, and that's the price to buy it. So one of the things I hate about property is offers over 500,000 or offers over 750.
That's lazy.
It's bullshit,
It's
right? What's the price? What is the price of the asset that you want? So when you advertise a car online, you don't advertise them as, offers over X.
Well, no. There's a trend on Marketplace at the moment where people are doing that. Expressions of interest. Just trying to get a gauge of what my thing's worth, what my car's worth. And then you, like I've thrown a couple of prices out there and you've offended them. Well, how can, it's like when we're trying to sell something, right? And the customer's got a trade in. And you say, how much do you want for your trade? Yeah. Oh, I have no idea.
I don't know.
And then you tell them and they get offended. Well, how can you be offended if you didn't know? And if you did know, you should say it. And it's okay to say it.
Yeah.
And you know.
It's because they watch a couple of videos on YouTube beforehand about how to beat car salespeople, and they go in and they think that that's what you're supposed to do.
I had a friend once say, because I was trying to buy something, and she says to me, have you got your disappointed, shocked act down for when they tell you a price? And I just said to her, I said, that's not how I do it.
No, because you don't need to.
You don't need to. You can have the conversation. Yep. Look, that's actually not what I was thinking. This is what I'm comfortable at. You can have a normal conversation with someone. There's the gamesmanship. There needs to be no gamesmanship. It should just be.
But you need to be reasonable on both sides. So you can go in there with that game. And everyone says, you need to be willing to walk away. Well, look, yes and no. You do need to be willing to walk away if it's completely ridiculous.
If it doesn't work.
But if you go in there, if you've done your research on not only what you're buying and what you're trading or selling, if you go in there, you've done your research, and they give you in your brain, ridiculous offer, but you go, actually, as per the research, this is what I think is a fair price for my car trading it in, and it's what I think is a fair price for your car. Does that work for you, yes or no? If it does, I'll leave you $2,000 deposit right now, take it through to your boss. That is the easiest way to buy a car. But you need to do your research first. You can't do no research and then just walk in and then just go, I'm going to practice my offended face for when they give me a figure on my car. Because we all know when you get offered a trade-in price, it is going to be lower than what you can actually get for your vehicle.
I saw an example of something that happened. So some lady on Marketplace was selling a couch.
Yeah.
And someone made an offer. The couch was $1,500.
Right. And
someone said, would you take $1,000? And the person goes, yeah. That's the lowest I go. Take $1,000. And then she goes, actually, we can't buy it because it's for my daughter and she doesn't want it. Well, why put an offer?
Yeah.
And now she's exposed that $500 discount price. That's 30% off, 33% off the price of this item. Now it's exposed to everyone on the internet.
Yeah.
And for what? You've wasted everyone's time.
Yeah.
Let's go back. Social media supposed to be social, not anti-social. So let's go back to some level of decorum. Let's treat each other like human beings.
Yeah.
You'd never do it in public. You'd never do it to their face. So don't do it online.
And the reality is, it's actually, when I really, really think about this now, one of the best things about selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that is it's a free platform to do it on.
Yep.
Which means there's no cost to the seller.
Yep.
There's no extra cost to the buyer. So it's not like when you're walking into a car dealership like here at Auto Bros, where you've got overheads. So you've got rent, for example. You've got electricity. You've got all these things. So there's none of those overheads. So when you're actively shopping on Facebook Marketplace, you know that you're going to get a price that is beneficial due to the fact that there are less overheads. Right?
No, I disagree. I disagree with that. Because you're assuming that people that are selling stuff take that stuff into account, which they don't.
Yeah.
So one of the advantages of my business is that because I have a lot of knowledge in what I do, in a lot of cases you can buy a similar car for a similar price to a private person. You can get warranty, my expertise, workshop reconditioning, registration stuff included.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people don't take that kind of stuff into consideration, especially not when they're...
But I'm not even just talking about buying cars. I'm talking about buying any product that you can find on Facebook.
Yeah, but I don't think people look into it that deeply. I think they just see something and they sell it. The whole idea is that Marketplace is supposed to just bring people together. And what I would say, this is a funny little user interface thing. Comparing Marketplace from a business side to car sales, this is the part that I find super interesting. If I get an inquiry on Marketplace, a message notification comes up and then we start texting. It's literally like, this person, is this still available, right? And then we text back and forwards.
Yeah.
Right, very simple. Car sales sends me an inquiry the inquiry is left on the platform, and they send me an email. The email says there's an inquiry.
Log into the platform.
Log into the platform. So when you log into the platform, you've got to put your login credentials. Then it takes you to the landing page. Now on that landing page, that's not where I need to go to get the lead. So I need to click on somewhere else. I think it's 2 or 3 clicks just before I get to the lead, and then I've got to manage it from there.
So what you're saying is car sale, because obviously Facebook has the Facebook platform, but also has Facebook Messenger. So car sales needs to come up with a Messenger app.
No, but they have a Messenger app, but the way to access it is clunky and it adds all these additional steps at an absolute premium. The price that I have to pay to list a car would make your head spin. It's insane.
The other issue too is that, like, obviously Facebook Marketplace is more targeted area-wise, right? So you'll often get inquiries from car sales who are in Melbourne.
Yep.
And then
they tell
you tell them that you're in Queensland.
You're in Brisbane.
Yeah, like,
I'm in Sydney.
I would never buy that car. It's like, yeah, but you clicked on it, mate. Like, and it's listed on it which state you're in as well.
Yeah,
too.
which Marketplace doesn't do that, which is good. Again, it's trying to connect the people that are actually going to buy it. Now, I would say you get a lot of dud leads. You get far more dud leads on Facebook than you do on car sales. But I sell more stuff off Marketplace for free, than I do on car sales.
Yeah.
So I think I reserve car sales now for the real weird stuff.
Yeah.
You know, the stuff that is going to sell nationwide because it's unique.
Yep.
But I mean, I suppose you can get garbage. I mean, I had an incident where someone is going around leaving other people's credentials, like contact info, on cars and getting us dealers to to contact these people. So that's almost like using that platform as a weapon.
Yeah.
So it can happen both sides, but I just feel like the anti-social interaction on Facebook is something that I want to.
But again,
I'd like us all to look at the way that we.
Yeah, like, look, people out there in internet land, 2020 has shown the world's hard enough as it is already. Don't make it harder for everyone else, right? If you're having a bad day, don't send someone some negative shit on social media. Yeah, just don't be a prick. Just be a half decent person.
Just.
And if you're going to make a joke,
treat someone.
Yeah, how you wish to be treated. But if you're going to make a joke, it's got to be funny.
Yep.
Right? Like, because, you know, a lot of people, I mean, especially over the last 5 to 10 years, even in comedy, right? There's been a lot of dark humor that's got really, really big. But the thing is, there's a difference between, again, just being a prick and being funny. So if you're going to actually make a joke, it's got to be a funny joke.
Yeah.
That's number one. But number two, it's got to be clear that it's a joke as well.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Well, but also the perception of it. Don't look at it. If you look at something wanting to be angry, you'll be angry about it. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. So, I want to talk about a different emotion. Has this ever happened to you? I was driving the WRX I've got. It's got a big sound system in it,
right?
And I usually have. I've got that audio book playing that I posted on my Facebook debt, last 5,000 years of debt, which is interesting. But I had some music going, and I was driving to the middle of Brisbane City, and this song came on, and it hit me so hard, tears just started streaming down my face.
What song was it?
Lateralis by Tool.
Right. Yep.
Now, it's a song that I really, really like. It's probably the most motivational song that I've ever heard, and it talks about, it motivates me on a spiritual level. But I was like, is it just because I was listening to it in a car, big sound system, a much more sound, much bigger sounds. And I got home, I was telling Tasha about it, and I said, this thing happened, I listened to this song, and just tears started coming out, and I'm wondering if it's because of the car, so I put it on at home, listened to it with her, same thing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So...
Has any song ever done that to you?
Yeah, a lot. Judith by Perfect Circles, one of those songs for me.
Yeah. 2 Maynard songs.
Yeah, he's an amazing artist, right?
Yeah.
But so, all right, I'm about to riff on some stuff that I don't know enough about. So again, go and do your own research on this. I think that there's a lot of reasons why music is so powerful for human beings, and one of these things is I think we've got a nerve. It's called the vagus nerve, which again can't remember exactly where it sits in the body or anything like that. But the vagus nerve is sensitive to vibrations and obviously musical frequencies and stuff like that. So you will notice that in a lot of religions, for example, there's a lot of hymns chanting, or if you go to African tribes, there's lots of singing. There's lots of so that sort of song, and I mean, like let's say you go to a sporting event, you're not feeling great, you might put a pump up song on, or you go to the gym, you might put a pump up song on, and it stimulates the vagus nerve to give you a certain response to that music, and it's. I mean, look, I think the other thing too is that hearing, like audio, is like the most powerful sense when it comes to bringing back old memories. So obviously something like that, like Lateralis, has been around for, like, when did they release that
album? 2010?
No, I think it was way earlier than that.
No, it was on 10,000 Days, which was the...
No, it wasn't. It was on Lateralis.
Oh, duh. It is older.
Yeah, so it's like 2000.
That's what Tasha said. Tasha said it's bringing you back to a place.
Yeah.
And I can't remember where I was. I can't remember where I was when I first listened to that. I'm pretty sure I got that album when it came out, though. What was on the front cover of that? Yes, it was. That was the one with the
body and the, like, you had like the flip book which had the
with the goggles that you swipe through it and it's got the 3D pictures. Was that Lateralis? Or was that 10,000 Days?
I think that was 10,000 Days. But they had the very similar sort of artwork in.
Yeah, I would have bought it, and my memory's firing off it.
For me, I think it was high school when I started really listening to Tool, and I think that was the latest album they had out at the time.
Yeah.
So it was like early 2000s, I think.
HMV at Pacific Fair, I feel like, where you want, instead of going to Sunflower Music and paying $20 less for that album, or $10 less, I was paying top dollar for it at HMV, and I don't know why. I can't. But I just remember...
Because you were young and stupid, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I've heard that song 100,000 times. I love it. But for some reason, for whatever reason, it's just had a far more profound effect on me now than it had before. Right. I was I was at the lights and people were crossing, and I'm probably looking in and just seeing this grown man crying behind the wheel. Yeah, right. Of just listening to music. Weird.
Yeah, very interesting. Very so, weird. Hey guys, tell us what song moves you.
And if you haven't listened to that song, it is, and I'd like everyone to listen to it and have the lyrics up, because you can't understand a lot of the stuff that he says. But if you listen to it and follow the lyrics, and if you put your mind in a position where you're willing to think outside of your body. And think on a very spiritual level. That's what Lateralis stands for. It's away from the centre. Yeah, it is epic. And if you ever needed something to motivate your soul, I think that is the best song for that. And if you're not a Tool fan, set aside 10 minutes because they're long. So I watch a lot of reaction videos to music that I like, right. And there's a lot of people out there on YouTube that are not fans of that genre, and I haven't heard anyone say, like, I've heard rap guys. I watched one yesterday with like a Christian brotherhood listening to it and trying to relate it to like a biblical sense, and they just couldn't stop moving to this thing. They said it's so epic, like it's such an epic. Yeah. I could talk about them all day. I just think they're an amazing band, but very interesting. And I think even if you don't like that genre, I think you'll respect the amount of effort that went into it. And if you understand some of the Fibonacci stuff, like the way it's designed, there's some videos on it, watch the videos, but yeah, it's very cool. It is very cool. Yeah. Very so what have we spoken about? We've spoken about douchebags on the internet, epic, emotional songs. Well, as a completely non-related segue, it's the 31st of October. Hey, it's the end of... Which is the end of my Soberish October ride. And it's been a interesting month. So a couple of things that have come out of this month for me. I remember, so at the beginning, you were saying that, like, you didn't really believe in going to the extremes like I've done. Still because, again, obviously there's people who do that and you just yo-yo. Yep. Right? I honestly feel, and again, it'll be interesting to see where I'm at 3 months from now, 6 months from now, so on. There are some habits that I have broken during this month. The number one habit that I feel like I've broken this month, is the snacking after dinner thing. Yeah.
And
the automatic getting up and grabbing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, like when you actually research into it, a lot of the reasons why your body feels hungry, number one, look, like the first thing is always it's generally dehydration first, right? So make sure you drink enough water. But I always drink enough water. But sometimes when your body still feels hungry, it's because it's actually craving nutrients that you haven't eaten.
Yeah.
And the problem with eating snack foods, they don't have any nutrients in them.
Yeah,
so your body's still hungry because it wants to get nutrients in. So one thing I'm pondering and I'm wondering is because I'm eating so much more nutritious food, I'm also not feeling like I'm still hungry.
Satiated? Is that the word?
Satiated, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, I wonder if that's a thing because, like, you know, now if I want a snack, I eat fruit. And I wonder if that's one of the reasons why I don't feel the need to sort of snack after dinner and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So the snacking after dinner thing is something that I feel like from this month I've broken and will continue to not do, or I will do it to a much lesser degree.
Sure.
And again,
I think now if you understand the signs, so if you are hungry,
yep,
you might ask why now instead of just going, oh, get snack, fill body with snack, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
As long as you stay disciplined to that, and that's the kind of stuff that I was talking about, which is those things are the positive lifetime changes, provided you can stay disciplined enough to do it.
Yeah.
The cold turkey thing, I don't believe in it. I spoke to a trainer next door to here at Auto Bros. There's a gym, and I was talking to him, and one of his philosophies that he tells people, he never tells people to stop anything.
Yeah.
Because he goes, it's unrealistic to think that someone's going to stop alcohol, stop chocolate, stop snacks. He's like, have you got a plan around the including that stuff into your diet?
Yeah.
And I think that was a really great and nice,
for sure
way to
and that's the thing, like at the end of the day, if you want to have any sort of long-term change or long-term health improvement, it's lifestyle change. It's not fad diets and stuff like
100%.
that. And again, for me, the intent was not to have like a fat diet this month. Now, I've dropped a lot of weight. So I weighed myself this morning. Now, I was half not going to talk about this weigh-in because, so I posted up on Thursday my weighing results, which was 102.7 on Thursday. And now, I'm always pretty consistent with when I weigh myself, which is it's in the morning after I've consumed a glass of water, I've had a black coffee, I've done a poo.
Yeah.
Right? That's how I weigh myself every morning. Now, this morning was a little bit different. I had water, coffee, poo, but then I mowed the lawn, and that took me probably half an hour, and it was bloody hot, and I sweated heaps. So I reckon I've actually just lost heaps of water weight this morning too, because I actually weighed in at 101.3, which is 1.4 kilos lighter than I weighed in on Thursday.
Yeah, okay.
So I feel like I've sent myself into slight dehydration maybe this morning before I weighed in. So it's probably not the most accurate.
Yeah.
But if we even just say I'm in the 101s.
Yeah.
Right?
So start was?
107.5, 31 days ago.
And so what's the total weight loss?
Let's say that I'm 102.
Yeah.
That's 5.5 kilos in a month.
And what was the target for January?
95. So I've got 2 months to lose another 6 kilos.
So it's doable. It's definitely doable, and it probably follows that nice line of, because you get those diminishing returns.
Yeah, and look, obviously, I think that as I reintroduce a few things like some alcohol, like some snacks.
Alcohol's so good.
Oh,
I gave it a lash last night.
I can't wait.
Playing video games with the boys. Poorly.
Yeah. Nice. And look, I'm not one of those people who just drinks to get pissed. I drink because I enjoy alcohol.
Yeah.
I enjoy the taste of it. I do enjoy the way that it makes me feel. It's like a stress reduction tool sometimes as well. And I don't feel like I get a lot of the negative effects from alcohol that a lot of people do get as well.
I think you do too. I think we have a good relationship with alcohol.
Yeah, 100%.
And there's a lot of people out there that don't, and by all means, get help if you need help with it. But I really enjoyed the time. Same as you. I actually hate. I was talking to how old is he? 22-year-old, and I was talking about how as you grow older, I've learned that I don't like being pissed. I don't like being drunk. I like that tiddly feeling.
Yep.
And as you grow older, you start to be more disciplined. So when you're in that spot, I know.
Yeah.
Go get water. And people
You
say
learn,
me
you
if I'm out
learn
of the
to
pub.
coast.
Yeah, coasting is the
Right?
best.
Yeah.
So even if I'm out and I'll go get a water and someone goes, oh, you're drinking water. And I'm like, yeah. Because I love this feeling. I like being here. This is good. And I know tomorrow I'm going to feel good because I'm hydrated.
Yep.
And you having that extra 3 that takes you like past the limit, that's not fun.
That was always my problem too with alcohol, is that I can get to a number of drinks where it's like my body switches gears and it's like, how fast can I drink the next one? And how fast can I drink the next one? And to be honest with you, I think prior to me starting this thing, I was drinking too much. And again, it was a habit thing. So I was literally getting home from whatever it was I was doing for the day, and the first habit was go and grab a drink. So whether it was a beer or a glass of wine or a whiskey or whatever it was, I just got into the habit of doing that, and then I was doing it every single day. Well, not every day, but 5 to 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Right? So that's something that I feel like I've broken a little bit this month, and that I will continue to consume slightly lesser amounts of alcohol.
Yeah.
Which I think is really, really positive as well.
But you were sick. Even your voice is.
Well, yeah. Like this is the irony of the whole thing. I've been the healthiest this month that I've been in years, as far as what I've been putting in my body and doing with my body. I've also been the sickest that I've been in years.
And where did you get it from?
So at the beginning, I feel like when I first got sick, well, the whole family got sick. We all got a cold, rhinovirus, because we had to get COVID tests. Not 100% sure where they came from. Don't really know. The latest one, I feel like I got from my old man.
Yeah, so Dad was sick.
Yep.
The reason why I bring it up, I'm facetiously bringing it up,
Yeah.
because Dad came, he spent the day with me here.
Yeah.
He went, shook my hand, gave me a hug, and then told me he was sick. I'm like, thanks, Dad. But I didn't get it. Now, I had like an inflamed, what's the dangly thing called?
Your epiglottis.
So my epiglottis was inflamed, and I've learned this about my body as well. When that's touching my tongue, I know that my body's trying to fight something off. So I'm gargling salty water a couple of times a day, and I did have alcohol. And when I drank a quarter bottle of gin or something, right? Just with water, and I didn't get sick at all.
Now, I want to talk about this because, like, literally, I'm very frustrated this month because I have never been sick for more than 2 weeks at a time, ever. And I pretty much had 1 week of not being sick this month, and I've been sick the rest of it. Now, I've always made the joke that drinking alcohol, especially hard spirits, has killed a lot of the bacteria.
It's hand sanitizing for your inside.
That's right?
Yeah.
Now,
there's no technical analysis for this.
No, but it'll be interesting.
Unless you read 1950s books or something like where they could serve you methamphetamine. The doctor would give you methamphetamine as a pick-me-up. Right?
Yeah, the good old days.
Yeah, the good old days, right?
But that's the whole thing. I wonder if there's something in that.
Well, it's got to be. I'm proof. I'm proof. I didn't get sick.
I might get on a hand sanny before I go home.
Yeah, the hand sanitizer is a gin place. That's them. The hand sanitizer.
It's actually the same stuff.
Yeah, I haven't tasted it. That's delicious.
Yeah. But yeah, so I found that interesting.
But I think from I'm not a scientist.
I would have said,
I'm not a dietitian.
Just before you continue, disclaimer: the one thing that I didn't get this month was sleep. That's something.
It's probably more that because I slept like a baby.
No, you didn't, because my baby wasn't sleeping, which is why we haven't had sleep this month.
I keep saying I'm a good sleeper, but there's got to be something in that alcohol. Alcohol kills germs.
Yeah. And especially because I felt like this one started in my throat too. So I was doing the salt water gargles and stuff for the first few days, and unfortunately didn't work. And it just makes me wonder if it started here, had I had a couple of shots of whiskey, could it have worked? Who knows?
I think you're better off just always, if in doubt, shot it out.
And just to throw it out there for you conspiracy theorists out there as well too, this year's also the first year I ever got the flu vaccine.
Ooh.
You just want to throw it out there.
I know.
I'm not an anti-vaxxer by any stretch of the imagination. Now, if they release a COVID vaccine next month, I'm not taking it because I believe in them actually doing testing on this shit before, rather than just trying to roll something out too quickly. Not an anti-vaxxer. The whole reason why I've never gotten the flu shot before, laziness and time, to be perfectly frank. Because I was working too many hours, I couldn't be bothered, and also I always had a very strong immune system. I get sick 2 weeks a year, generally, or 1 week a year most of the time, which is why I'm so frustrated now, because I've already been sick this year too. So, got the flu shot this year because work was providing them, and they were free, and it was at the dealership next door, so I'm like, you bugger, I may as well just do it anyway. And this is the most consistently sick I've been this year.
So the reason why I never got it was because everyone that got it that I knew got sick.
Yeah.
Like, got the worst flu.
Yeah, right.
So I never get flu. I never get a cold. You know, I'll get a little tingle, and there's little things that I do to, like, I feel like I read my body quite well.
Mm-hmm.
And I my supplement regime that we've spoken about before,
mm-hmm.
I often keep up, but I don't get sick.
Yeah.
I don't get the flu. I don't wash
I don't
myself.
think I've had the flu.
The colds and things like that, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. So
yeah, that's
the supplements and alcohol.
Yeah, but see, that's I found that very interesting for me. So obviously, I feel like this month largely positive for me, largely positive experience. I mean, the drop, almost 6 kilos in a month. It's pretty big. Feel better. This belt, I stopped wearing this belt because it was too small.
Yeah.
I'm on the second hole now.
Yeah.
So
you can definitely see it. Even Tasha noticed in your face.
Yeah.
And I think I told her that it was just because you shaved your beard or something. But you definitely look like
slimmer.
skinny there.
And like
but
obviously, I've still got plenty of gut fat to go through as well too. So I think my goal of getting down to 95 kilos is easily achievable.
Yeah.
And again, I know I'll plateau at some point, but it is what it is. And at least at the end of it, if I'm 96 kilos on the 1st of January, but way healthier, then that's cool. So yeah, I feel like I've created a lot of healthy habits, like getting out for the walks in the morning. I bought myself those new weights too, so like I'm changing up my workouts, but I'm doing stuff, again, really small amounts. One of the things that Ben Greenfield talks about a lot of the time is getting in the minimum effective dosage of exercise. So I want people who aren't really big exercise or gym nuts and stuff like that, if you're thinking about getting into exercise, it is the minimum effective dose for it to actually positively affect you. And literally, all you really need to do is get to a point where you're breathing heavy and you got to sweat up. So like I did that workout last weekend, which was the last real workout I did, which was just 5 sets of 5 clean and jerks with my new toy, which is my Olympic bar, and I've got 2 20-kilo plates. It's about 50 kilos you're lifting. So it's not, again, if you're a gym nut, it's not a lot of weight.
That's a lot of weight to get off the ground and up into the air, though.
Yeah, but when you're 100 kilos yourself too, like it's different if you're 60 kilos as well too, and you're lifting pretty much your own body weight. But that was more than enough. Like my heart was pumping, the blood was rushing, I was leaking sweat. So I'm like, okay, I know my body's having a response to this, and it's burning a lot of that.
Can I give you my equivalent during the week?
Yeah.
So I was supposed to go out for dinner with someone to talk business, and they negged on me at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously Tasha hadn't prepared anything for me because she didn't need to, right? And so she just goes, go to Domino's. There's Domino's down the road. And I thought I'll walk there.
Yep.
Because I'm not an animal, right?
Yep.
I'll walk to
How
Domino's.
far away is it?
550 metres.
Right.
So I walk down there, get my pizza, and it just started to rain, and the thunder was coming in like a storm. So I'm like, I'm going to run.
Yep.
So I ran. So not sprint, but not a jog. So somewhere in between. So when I pulled up, I was like wheezing. I'm sitting down there trying to eat this pizza. I did not enjoy the pizza at that level. Sweat is just and I'm not a sweater.
Yeah.
Sweat was just
I'm a sweater.
pouring out of me.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there and like I've got the aircon on. I'm trying to cool down. I couldn't cool down. I was really trying to concentrate on my breathing to bring my breath back up.
Right down.
But man, and I think I told you during the week it was 800 meters. Because to me it felt like 800 meters.
I was going to bring it up.
Yeah. And then I checked. I was like, oh, it's 550. But 550 of a run. I'll call it a run. It was not a sprint. It was a run.
Well, like to give you a little bit of credit.
And I was holding the weight of a large pizza too.
Yeah, true. To give you a little bit of credit, I'm pretty sure that in athletics they say the most difficult running event is the 400 meters.
And I've never seen any of them do it with a Domino's pizza.
No, and they should. That should be a new event. But the reason why it's the most difficult distance is because it blurs the lines between using your anaerobic system and your aerobic system.
Interesting.
So the problem is, like, when you're doing sprints, it's all anaerobic.
Yeah.
So you don't need to breathe for this to work. Right?
Yeah.
But the problem is the 400 meters is that perfect distance where it actually your anaerobic system's not enough to sustain you for that full amount. So you're actually using both systems.
It did cook me.
Yeah.
Like it. But I thought my legs were going to be sore the next day. I felt really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah. And again, minimum effective dose.
Yeah.
So that's one 550 meter sprint. How long did it take you?
Oh, a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
2 or 3 minutes. So 2 or 3 minutes, it got your sweat up, it got your heart pumping. You're obviously breathing a lot, so we spoke about a few episodes ago, like where does your fat go? It comes out in your breath. So
The problem was when I was breathing in, it was
you're inhaling Dominoes and exhaling air.
Yeah.
But again,
that energy conversion is not exactly one.
It's not 1-to-1. But again, that's something where again I've been experimenting with it this month. I'm not going to the gym and smash myself for an hour or two, and I'm not like doing 3 sets of 10 on this, 3 sets of 10 on this, 3 sets of 10 on this. Because again, I'm trying to juggle stuff with Nate as well. So if Nate goes down for his morning nap, it's 20 to 30 minutes he'll be asleep for. So it's literally, he goes down to sleep, run into the garage, do 10-minute workout, then I've got time to have a shower or jump in the pool for 5 minutes to do the cold exposure thing or whatever it is, get changed, and then at that point in time it's like 20 minutes. And sometimes he'll wake up there, or sometimes I've got 10 minutes to myself before he wakes up again. So it's not huge things, but I feel like I'm doing enough to see some benefits in my body as well.
What is the first alcohol you're going to have? And when? And where?
So at 12:01 a.m. tonight. Now, like, to be honest, it's interesting. So I've actually got a couple of beers in my fridge that have been sitting there for over a month. Because I actually I hadn't drank them before this thing kicked off. With the weather heating up, I have been craving beer a little bit more.
Yep.
But I've also got a bottle of red wine. So I think my first alcohol will be tomorrow night. I'll have a nice dinner with the wife and crack the bottle of red wine. And I might, again, just trying to make healthier habits moving forward, probably just have that 1 glass of red or something like that. And it'll be a big glass, but maybe have the 1 glass of red sort of thing. So I reckon that'll be the first bit of alcohol.
Okay. I'm going to have alcohol tonight. It's Tasha's birthday.
Yep.
But that's nothing special for me.
Yeah. And are you guys going out for it or something?
Yeah. Tasha picked a place, and I think we're doing like a 10-course, like
digger station.
Digger station. Yeah.
10 courses.
Yeah. Oh, 10. They'll be tiny little things.
10 bites of food.
I think I might go matching drinks. So it's her birthday, and she's going to have to drive.
Oh, it's pretty standard for her, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And on that note,
all right, let's leave it at that.
Thanks for playing.
Guys, thank you very much for coming, and we'll see you next RDO.